Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin. All across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV. From Abuja to Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin. All across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news. We are 24 News Radio TV.
A lovely afternoon to you out there. Thanks for joining us on the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Television. My name is Grace Wanfo. A federal high court in Lagos on Tuesday morning discharged and acquitted former Ekiti State Governor Mr. Ayodele Fayose of all charges in his long-standing money laundering case brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The court upheld Fayose's no-case submission, effectively ruling that the prosecution failed to establish a prima facie case against him to warrant further defense. As governor. However, after years of legal proceedings, the court found that the evidence presented by the EFCC was insufficient to sustain the charges. And from the southeast, the Anambra State government has completed the construction of a beltway with the fourth dual carriageway, thereby according to the State Commissioner for Information, Law Mefo, the state government also approved 31.6 billion naira for the other dual carriageways, including the Ekulobia to Nobi dualization road project, as well as other projects. Mefo said the contracts for the road projects were approved and other key decisions were taken during the Anambra State Executive Council meeting held at the Lighthouse, Oka. President Bola Tinubu has directed relevant federal agencies to take all necessary actions to address the issues identified by the governments of the United States and the United Arab Emirates in their recent changes to visa issuance policies affecting Nigerian citizens. This was contained in a statement by the Special Advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Mr. Bayo Ononuga, in Abuja. According to the statement, the United States government formally notified Nigeria that its decision to review visa privileges for Nigerian passport holders was informed by two key concerns: the growing incidence of visa overstays by Nigerian nationals and challenges in obtaining reliable access to applicants' records. The Lagos State Government and the City of London have launched a pioneering partnership to promote technological innovation and collaboration between the two global cities. The Mayor of London, Sadiq Khan, made the revelation during a tech summit organized by London and partners in Lagos. The summit marked the first official London trade mission to Nigeria, highlighting growing interest in tech collaboration. Doctors Without Borders says 3 of its staff were intentionally killed in 2021 during the fierce fighting in Ethiopia's Tigray region. The organization, known by its French initials MSF, published the findings of its internal review into the killings of Maria Hernandez, a Spanish national, and Ethiopians Johannes Reda and Tedros Gebremichael. MSF accused the Ethiopian government of failing to fulfill its moral obligations to conclude investigations. The northern region of Tigray erupted in a brutal civil war against the federal government from 2020 that killed 600 people. And from Kenya, Amnesty International has slammed the call by the Kenyan President William Ruto to shoot protesters, saying it would feel more violence at a time of mounting anger and deadly anti-government rallies. Rights groups say at least 38 people died last week during demonstrations, marking the deadliest day of protest since the start of youth-led rallies against Ruto. The demonstrations have shaken the country, and Ruto recently said protesters who engaged in violence should be shot in the leg. And from the United States President Donald Trump has said Ukraine should not target Moscow after he reportedly asked Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky if Kyiv could strike the Russian capital if he provided long-range weaponry. Trump made the comment after the Financial Times reported that the U.S. president had encouraged Zelensky to step up strikes deep inside Russian territory during their phone call on July 4. The report, which cited two unarmed people familiar with the discussion, said Trump had also asked Ukrainian counterpart whether he could hit Moscow and St. Petersburg if supplied with weapons with enough range. In a response to a question about whether Zelensky should target Moscow, Trump told reporters at the White House that he should not. Cuban Minister for Labor Marta Cabrera has been forced to resign after she made comments denying the existence of beggars on the communist-run island. The minister had said there was no such thing as beggars in Cuba, and people going through rubbish were in essence doing so out of choice to make easy money, as she put it. Her comment, made in a parliamentary session, was widely criticized by Cubans at home and abroad and prompted a response from the island's president, Miguel Diaz-Canel. She resigned soon after. Poverty levels and food shortages have worsened in Cuba as it continues to grapple with a severe economic crisis. The European Union has imposed sanctions on 7 individuals and 3 entities it said are responsible for efforts to destabilize Moldova's democracy, including through vote buying and political bribery linked to the country's 2024 presidential election and referendum on EU accession. In a statement, the European Council said those sanctions were engaged in actions aimed at destabilizing, undermining, or threatening the sovereignty and independence, as well as democracy, the rule of law, and stability of the Republic of Moldova. And from Spain, a total of 14 people have been arrested and extra police have been deployed after an attack on a pensioner sparked anti-migrant unrest in a small town in South Spain. 3 people of North African origin have been detained on suspension of attacking the 68-year-old man last week. Circulated on social media, inflaming his home to a large immigrant population. The pensioner and the police later said the video was unrelated to the incident, but social media calls to find and attack the perpetrators multiplied quickly. Air quality alerts are in place across Canada and the northern United States due to smoke from wildfires, with officials warning residents to limit times outdoor. Canada issued alert for much of Ontario, warning that wildfire smoke had significantly degraded air quality. In the U.S., officials issued a similar alert for Chicago through Tuesday evening, with additional precautions advised for babies and the elderly. Prime Minister Mark Carney will meet emergency responders to assess the situation in Ottawa as fires burning in Manitoba and northern Ontario have forced thousands of people out of their homes. And from China, Japan's embassy in Beijing says a Japanese businessman has been sentenced to 3.5 years in China for espionage. The man, described as by Japan's news agency as an employee of Tokyo-based Estelas Pharma Incorporation in his 60s, was first detained in March 2023 and placed under formal arrest in October. Japanese Ambassador Kenji called the verdict extremely regrettable in remarks to the media after the trial at Beijing's court. And that is the end of the news at noon on 24 News Radio and Televisions. Do stay tuned for more programs will be coming your way. Have a lovely afternoon. My name is Grace Nwafo.
To Lagos, Sokoto to Port Harcourt, Enugu to Ilorin. All across Nigeria, we bring you news and information that will make your day. We are news, we are 24.